Hare Krishna, dear devotees and pranams, thank you for joining in. Let's start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान् वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत्। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तडालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। आराध्य भगवान् व्रजेशतनयास् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण वा कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणममलं प्रेम पुमर्तो महान् श्रीचैतन्यमहाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्र धरनापर। Hare Krishna, dear devotees and pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our study of teachings of Queen Kunti. The last time we studied this, we completed until chapter 8 of Vipadam Yatu Tat Sashwat, right? Where Kunti Maharani is paying for more and more troubles. So if there are more troubles, then there is more, it's more easier for us to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we're discussing how we should not artificially pray for more troubles. But we should definitely take all the troubles that come our way as an opportunity to surrender more to Guru and Gauranga. And in this way, we will pass all the tests. And our ultimate test is at the time of death. If you remember Krishna, Antakale cha mameva smran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nyati atra samshayaha. Right? At the time of death, we're able to remember the Lord. If we pass the final test, we remember the Lord, then we will go back home, back to Godhead. And that is the real success of human form of life. All the other successes are useless, right? Because they come and go, right? But this is the real success of life, to be able to reawaken our love for Krishna. Today we are starting chapter number 9, Easing the Fever of Illusion. Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhir Edamana Madaha Puman Naivarhati Abidatum Vai Twama Kinchana Gocharam. Srimati Shampriya Mataji, please go ahead, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feelings. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.26. Being materially advanced means taking birth in the aristocratic family and possessing great wealth. and education and attractive personal beauty. All materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences, and this is known as the advancement of material civilization. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord and addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. It is said in the Shastras that by once uttering the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of the quantity of sins that he is unable to commit. Such is the power of uttering the holy name of the Lord. There is not the uh, there is not the
Least
least
exaggeration.
aggregation in this statement. Sorry, least exaggeration in this statement. Actually, the Lord's holy name has such powerful potency, but there is a quality to such utterance also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. A materially puffed up person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally, but he is incapable of uttering the name in quality. Therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely high parentage, good wealth, high education, and attractive beauty are, so to speak, disqualification for the progress on the path of spiritual advancement. Material covering of the pure spirit soul is an external feature, such as much as fever is an decrease as much as fever is an external feature of the unhealthy body. The general process is to decrease the degree of fever and not to aggravate it by maltreatment. Sometimes it is seen that the spiritually advanced person becomes materially impoverished. There is no discouragement. On the other hand, such impoverishment is a good sign as much as falling of the temperature is a good sign. The principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material intoxication, which leads one to be more and more illusioned, but the aim of life. Grossly illusioned persons are quite unfit for entrance into the kingdom of God. In one sense, of course, material opulences are God's grace. To take birth in a very aristocratic family or nation like America, to be very rich, to be advanced in knowledge and education, and to be endowed with beauty are gifts of pious activity. A rich man attracts the attention of others, whereas a poor man does not. A educated man attracts attention, but a fool attracts no attention at all. Materially, therefore, such opulences are very beneficial. But when a person is materially opulent in this way, becomes intoxicated. Oh, I'm rich man. I'm an educated man. I have money. One who drinks wine will become intoxicated and may think that he is flying in the sky or that he has gone to heaven. These are the effects of intoxication. But an intoxicated person does not know that all these dramas are within the limits of time and will therefore come to an end. Because he is unaware that these dreams will not continue, he is said to be in an illusion. Similarly, one is intoxicated by thinking, I'm very rich, I'm very educated and beautiful, and I have taken birth in an aristocratic family in a great nation. That's all right. But how long will these advantages exist? Suppose one is an American and is also rich, beautiful, and advanced in knowledge. One may be proud of all this, but how long will this intoxication? As soon as the body is finished, it will all be finished, just like the intoxicated dreams of a person who has been drinking. These
Hare
dreams
Krishna.
are on
Thank
the
you,
mental
Mataji.
platform, an egoistic platform. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Pranam. Thank you.
pranams. Yehi samsparshaja boga dukkayone evate adi antavanta kaunteya natishu ramate budaha. Right? Yehi samsparshaja boga dukkayone evate. Right? The satisfaction or the enjoyment that is derived from sense gratification or sense objects. Yehi samsparshaja boga dukkayone evate. Dukkha yone evati means they are likely to give us misery. Yehi samsparsha jaboga dukkha yone evate. Adi antavanta kaunteya. Why? Because they have a beginning and they have an end. Adi antavanta kaunteya. Na teshu ramate buddhaha. Na teshu ramate. That is, ramate means enjoy. A wise person does not delight in material sense gratification, knowing well that all these temporary pleasures are have a beginning and an end. And hence a wise person does not delight in them. So similarly here, if we see that if you are under illusion that I am enjoying this material world, I am enjoying this mobile phone, I am enjoying this laptop, I am doing everything for my sense enjoyment, then I'm actually intoxicated because I don't know the fact. Why am I intoxicated? Just like a drunkard, right? He thinks that if he drinks, then he is in utmost happiness and bliss, right? But he cannot even carry his body to where he wants to. He may just fall down on the road, and he needs people to even carry him to his own house. Is that enjoyment? right? But he thinks that is enjoyment. So that is a person under illusion. But what does a person in wisdom know? He knows that these sense objects are ultimately causes of misery. Na teshu ramate buddhaha. And hence an intelligent person will not delight in these objects of sense gratification, which he knows are ultimately sources of misery. Okay, let's move ahead and read further. We are revising the teachings of Queen Kunti because these are very, very foundational points that we need to establish in our life. Right? The more we read Srila Prabhupada's books, the more we dive deep into these subject matters, it will help us bring a strong foundation for our practice of devotional service. Especially these wonderful teachings of the teachings of Queen Kunti, then the passing of Bhishma Pitamaha. These are all very wonderful chapters. That's why we are revising teachings of Queen Kunti again. And once we complete this, then we will go ahead with the passing of Bhishma Pitamaha prayers. Yeah. Subbarao Prabhu, please go ahead. These dreams are on the mental platform from there. Subbarao Prabhu, please unmute. Hare Krishna. Okay, Sudha Mataji, are you able to unmute?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Can you read, Mataji?
Yes, Subbarao Prabhu, go ahead.
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes.
Yes. I start from this an American.
These
And he's
dreams are
also rich, beautiful, and advanced.
These
One may. These dreams are on the mental platform, the egoistic platform, and the bodily platform. But I am not the body. The gross body and the subtle body are different from my actual self. The gross body is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And the subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. But the living being transcendental to these 8 elements, which are described in the Bhagavad Gita as the inferior energy of God. Even if one is mentally very advanced, he does not know that he is under the influence of the inferior energy. Just as an intoxicated person does not know what condition he is in. Opulence, therefore, places one in a platform of intoxication. We are already intoxicated, and modern civilization aims at increasing our intoxication. In truth, we should become free from this intoxication, but modern civilization aims at increasing it to that we may become more and more intoxicated and go to hell. Next. Kunti Devi says that those who are intoxicated in this way cannot feelingly address the Lord. They cannot feelingly say, Java, Jaya, Radha, Madhava. All glories to Radha and Krishna. They have lost their spiritual feeling. They cannot feelingly address the Lord because they do not have knowledge. Oh, God is for the poor man, they think. The poor do not have sufficient food. Let them go to the church and pray. Oh, God, give us our daily bread. But I have enough bread. Why should I go to church? This is their opinion. Nowadays, therefore, because we are in a time of economic prosperity, no one is interested in going to the churches or temples. What is this nonsense people think? Why should I go to the church to ask for bread? And we shall develop our economic condition, and then there will be a sufficient supply of bread. In communist countries, this mentality is especially prevalent. The communists make propaganda in the village by asking people to go to church and pray for bread. So the innocent people may pray as usual. Oh God, give us our daily bread. When the people come out of church, the communists ask, have you gotten bread? No, sir. This is reply. All right. The communists say, ask us. Then the people say, oh, communist friends, give us bread. The communist friends, of course, have brought a whole truckload of bread, and they say, take as much as you like. Now who is better, the communists or your God? Because The people are not very intelligent. They reply, "Oh, you are better." They don't have the intelligence to inquire, "You rascals, where from have you brought his bread? Have you manufactured it in your own factory? Can your factory manufacture graves?" Because they are Sudras, people who have very little intelligence. They don't ask these questions. A Brahmana, however, one who is advanced in intelligence will immediately inquire, "You rascals, where from you have brought this bread? You cannot manufacture bread. You have simply taken the wheat given by God and transformed it, but this does not mean that it has become your property. Changing it
Hare
into
Krishna. Thank you,
something
Prabhu.
else does not make Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah. So, so this is the clearly
Yes,
Prabhupada is
Mataji. Shall I stop,
Prabhupada.
Mataji?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Danat Pranam. So here Prabhupada is clearly distinguishing between a man in knowledge and a man in ignorance. Right? These communist people generally, whenever there is shortage of bread, right? What do? They generally they go to the churches and pray. Right? Prabhupada says in a lecture, "Our Father in heaven, holy be thy name. Give us today our daily bread." Right? And Prabhupada tells in that particular lecture how the Lord takes care of elephants. The Lord takes care of wild animals in the forests. Why would he not take care of human beings, especially those who are surrendering to him? Right? The elephant, Prabhupada says, elephant eats so much of food, so much of grass and plants, etc. The Lord is providing for every elephant. Why would he not provide for his own devotee? Right? And these communist people, what do they say? You ask God for the daily bread, because and did you get your bread? They don't understand that they have truckloads of bread. That is also because of the Lord's mercy. And they say that I am giving you the bread. Personally, I am handing over the bread to you. So am I better or God is better? And these poor people who want that bread, right? They are willing to say anything for the communists to be satisfied. So in this way, both of them are right. Both of them are the giver, the communist who's giving. He thinks that this bread belongs to me. He does not understand that it is just a transformation of wheat that actually is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? In Bhagavad Gita also it says, if anyone takes the property of the Lord without giving it back to the Lord, such person is called a thief. So the communists are thieves. And those people who think that the communists are better than God because he is giving bread, they are also under illusion. Ishavasam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Tena chattena bhujita magrada kasya swedanam. Everything has its origin in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Every object that is sold by XYZ have been created by the Supreme Lord. They are all manufactured by the combination of elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether in various proportions. Right? To know that the Lord is a proprietor. Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. Right? To understand that the Lord is the supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor, and supreme owner of everything is real knowledge. Everything else is futile knowledge because you are drawn by intoxication and by being under illusion. And hence, a wise person tries to understand the truth as it is rather than fall into such hallucinations and intoxications and illusory mental speculation. Okay, Sudha Mataji, go ahead, please read. Simply transforming one thing from there. Sudha Mataji, please unmute. Okay, Shobha Mataji, are you able to unmute? Am I on? Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, fine, let me read. Simply transforming one thing into something else does not make the
Hare
final
Krishna Mataji.
our own property. For example, if I give a carpenter some wood, some tools, and a salary, he makes a very beautiful closet. To whom will the closet belong? To the carpenter or to me, the person who supplied the ingredients? The carpenter cannot say, because I have transformed this wood into such a nice closet, it is mine. That is foolishness. The carpenter cannot say, because I have transformed this wood into such a nice closet, it is mine. Similarly, we should say to the atheistic men like communists, who is supplying the ingredients for your bread, you rascal, it is all coming from Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, the elements of this material creation are all my property. You have not created the sea, the land, the sky, the fire, or the air. These are not your creations. You may mix and transform these material things. You may take earth from the land and water from the sea, mix them, put them in a fire to make bricks. And then you may pile up all these bricks to make a skyscraper and claim that that skyscraper is yours. But where did you get the ingredients for the skyscraper, you rascal? You've stolen the property of God and now you are claiming that it is your property. That is knowledge. Right? So, here, what is actual knowledge? Actual knowledge is to understand that everything is emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are all instruments by which I am transforming these things so that I may utilize it in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? When we understand that I am just an instrument in the hands of the Lord to become either the immediate cause for providing certain things to certain people, while we understand that the remote cause, the original cause, is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Right? Prabhupada uses the word rascal
Hare
because
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, because Prabhupada is making us understand this very important truth, that I am not the owner, I am not the controller, I am not the enjoyer, because this is the first understanding of the spiritual subject matter. I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. Jeeveru Swarupe He Krishnere Nitya Das. Right? And to give up this conception of Aham Mameti, this is my body, this is my resources, this is my speaker, this is my laptop, this is my mobile. As long as we are attached, we will always be miserable because those things will be taken away at some point of time or the other. So, real knowledge is to understand nothing belongs to me. I am simply a caretaker of whatever has been provided to me by the Lord. And this is Prabhupada saying is real wisdom or real knowledge. Yeah, like that. Yes, Sudha Mataji, go ahead. Unfortunately,
Mataji, can I read?
Hare
You
Krishna,
unmuted
Mataji.
me.
Unfortunately, those who are intoxicated cannot understand. Hare Krishna. Unfortunately, those who are intoxicated cannot understand this. They, they think we have taken this land of America from the Red Indians and now it is our property. They do not know that they are thieves. The Bhagavad Gita clearly says that one who takes the property of God and claims it as his own is a thief, stena, eva saha. The devotees of Krishna therefore have their own form of communism. According to Krishna conscious communism, everything belongs to God. Just as the Russian and Chinese communists think that everything belongs to the state, we think that everything belongs to God. This is merely an extension of the same philosophy, and to understand it, one simply needs a little intelligence. Why should one think that his state belongs to only a small number of people? In fact, this is all the property of God, and every living entity has a right to use this property because every living being is a child of God who is the Supreme Father. In Bhagavad Gita 14.4, Lord Krishna says, Sarvayonishu Kaunteya Aham Bija Pradapita. I am the seed giving father of all living entities. In whatever forms they may live, all living entities are my sons. We living entities are all sons of God, but we have forgotten this, and therefore we are fighting. In a happy family, all the sons know Father is supplying food to us all. We are brothers. So why should we fight? Similarly, if we become God conscious, Krishna Krishna conscious, the fighting in the world, Mataji, just yeah, the fighting in the world will come to an end. I am American. I am Indian, I am Russian, I am Chinese. All these nonsensical designations will be finished. The Krishna conscious movement is so purifying that as soon as people become Krishna conscious, their political and national fighting will immediately be over because they will come to their real consciousness and understand that everything belongs to God. The children in a family all have the right to accept privileges from the Father. Similarly, if everyone is part and parcel of God, if everyone is a child of God, then everyone has a right to use the property of the Father. That right does not belong only to human beings. Rather, according to Bhagavad Gita, that right belongs to all living entities, regardless of whether they are in the bodies of human beings, animals, trees, birds, beasts, insects, or whatever. That is Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, we do not think my brother is good and I am good, but all others are bad. This is the kind of narrow, crippled consciousness we reject. Rather, in Krishna consciousness, we look equally towards all living entities. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 5.18, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha Pandita Samadarshinaha. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater, outcast. One who is a Pandita, one who is learned, sees all living entities as to be on an equal level. Therefore, because a Vaishnava or devotee is learned, he is compassionate, lokanam hitakarinam, and he can work in such a way as to actually benefit humanity. A Vaishnava feels and actually sees that all living entities are part and parcel of God, and that somehow or the other they have fallen into contact with this material world and have assumed different types of bodies according to different karma. Those who are learned, Pandita, do not discriminate. They do not say this is an animal, so it should be sent to the slaughterhouse so that a man may eat it. No. Why should the animals be slaughtered? A person who is actually Krishna conscious is kind to everyone. They are intoxicated rascals. They are intoxicated rascals. Uh, uh, Therefore, one tenet of our philosophy is no meat eating. Of course, people may not accept this. They will say, "Oh, what is this nonsense? Meat is our food. Why should we not eat it?" Because they are intoxicated rascals, Edamana mother, they will not hear the real facts. But just consider, if a poor man is lying helpless in the street, can I kill him? Will the state excuse me? I may say, I've only killed a poor man. There was no need for him in society. Why should such a person live? But will the state excuse me? Will the authorities say, you have done the very nice work? No, the poor man is also a citizen of the state, and the state cannot allow him to be killed. Now, why not expand this philosophy? The trees, the birds, and the beasts are all sons of God. If one kills them, one is as guilty as one who kills a poor man on the street. In God's eyes, or even in the vision of a learned man, there is no discrimination between the poor and rich, black and white. No, every living entity is part and parcel of God. And because a Vaishnava sees this, he is he is the only true benefactor of all living entities. A
Hare
Vaishnava tries to elevate all living. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Mamevamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manashasthanindriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Right? Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Mameva amsha. Everyone is an amsha of me. Jivaloka sanatanaha. Everybody is part and parcel of me. Everybody wants to become happy because you're all parts and parcels of me. Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Anandam, who is Sachitananda Vigraha. Right? So everybody wants to be happy because they're all parts and parcels. We are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the embodiment of knowledge, bliss, and eternality. So that is the reason we all, Anandamayu Abhyasa, we always try to become happy. Because it is the nature of the soul to be always happy. Because we are part and parcel of that Supreme Soul, of that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, who is eternally happy, who is eternally blissful, right? So we also want to become happy. But how do we become happy in this world? When we understand, like Prabhupada explains in a lecture, how the hand is useless if it is not attached to the body. Right? With the hand, we pick up prasadam, we honor prasadam, and then we use the hand to pick up various things, to do certain work, to garland, to string a garland for the Lord. We use the hand. But if the hand is severed from the body, what is the use of this hand? Right? This hand is used to satisfy the purpose of the jiva who wants to either serve the Lord or wants to enjoy material nature. But if the hand is severed from the body, it does not serve the purpose for the living entity. Just like that, we are all parts and parcels of the Lord. If we don't engage in the service of the Lord, we become like that broken hand which is lying on the road, which has no utility, which has no identity. Why? Because it is cut off from its constitutional position of being attached to the body, and hence can be of some use to the body. Similarly, we have to be attached to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, we will also lose our identity and we will fall down in this material world which is full of illusion. Yeah. Shobha Mataji, yes. Can you read now? A Vaishnava tries to elevate
Hare
all.
Krishna, Hari Bol. A Vaishnava tries to elevate all living beings to a platform of Krishna consciousness. A Vaishnava does not see here is an Indian and there is an American. Someone once asked me, why have you come to America? Why should I not come? I am a servant of God and this is the kingdom of God. So why should I not come? To hear the moments of a devotee in artificial and one who does so commits a sinful act. Just as a policeman may enter a house without trespassing, a servant has a right to go anywhere because everything belongs to God. We have to see things in this way as they are. That is Krishna consciousness. Now, Kunti Devi says that those who are increasing their own intoxication cannot become Krishna conscious. A fully intoxicated person may talk nonsense and he may be told My dear brother, you are talking nonsense. Just see, here is your father and here is your mother. But because he is intoxicated, he will not understand, nor will be even care to understand. Simply, if a devotee tries to share a materially intoxicated rascal, here is God, the rascal will not be able to understand it. Therefore, Kunti Devi says, Tvam akinchana gocharam, indicating that to be free from the intoxication caused by high birth, opulence, education, and beauty is a good qualification. Nevertheless, when one becomes Krishna conscious, they these same material assets can be used for the service of Krishna. For example, the Americans who have joined the Krishna consciousness movement were materially intoxicated before they became devotees. But now that their intoxication is over, their material assets have become spiritual assets that may be helpful in furthering the service of Krishna. For example, when these American devotees go to India, the Indian people are surprised to see that Americans have become so mad after God. Many Indians strive to imitate the materialistic life of the West, but when they see Americans dancing in Krishna consciousness, they then they realize that this is what is actually worthy of being followed. Everything can be used in the service of Krishna if one remains intoxicated and does not use one's material asset for the service of Krishna. They are not very valuable. But if one can use them for the service of Krishna, they become extremely valuable. To give an example, zero has no value, but so as soon as the digit 1 is placed before the 1, the 0 immediately becomes 10. If there are two zeros, they become 100, and three zeros becomes 1000. Similarly, we are intoxicated by material assets that are actually no better than zero. But as soon as we add Krishna, then tens, hundreds, and thousands and millions of zeros before becomes extremely valuable. The Krishna consciousness movement therefore offers a great opportunity to the people of the West. They have an abundance of the zeros of materialistic life. And if they simply add Krishna's, their life will become sublimely valuable. Haribol. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavats, Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. So this is very, very wonderful and awesome. What is it? Prabhupada explains how all of our material opulences, our riches, our fame, our strength, our resources are all zeros. But if we don't add that one right in front of it or keep Krishna in the center of whatever we do, then all of these things will become useless. They're all millions and millions of zeros, but without the one, they have no value. Right? That to understand this, we need to be really intelligent. We have to have shastra chakshushaha. We have to see from the eyes of the shastras how all of these material opulences, including knowledge, wealth, strength, what do you call wealth, resources, etc., they are all useless. Why? Because they are all like zeros. But only when we add Krishna to it, there is value, because we utilize everything in the service of the Lord, then it becomes valuable. Otherwise, they are all plain simple zeros. So, on that note, we'll end our today's session. We'll continue with chapter number 10 tomorrow. Yeah, which is entitled The Property of the Impoverished. Right? Akinchana Gochara. Right? Prabhupada also explains here how Akinchana Gochara means to not be dependent on anything of this material world, but to always eternally be dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead for everything. Every situation, we accept it as an opportunity to surrender to the Lord, to continue to engage in the process of devotional service, and to reawaken our love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, devotees. We'll quickly do Harinam Sankirtan and then we'll end our session. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी असत्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Jaya Gauranitai Jai, Jai Jagannath Jai, Jai Baladev Jai, Jai Subhadra Jaya, Jaya Sudarshan Jaya, Bala Gopal Jaya, Rukmini Vithal Jaya, Prahlad Narsingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narsingha, Jaya Chaturabhuja Shaligram Shila, Hagriva Shaligram Shila, Gopal Ji Shaligram Shila, Kurmaji Shaligram Shila, Lakshmi Narsingha Dev Shaligram Shila, Prabhupada Jaya, Guru Deva Jaya, Guru Ayurappa, Jaya Radha Krishna Jaya, Radha Giridhari, Jaya Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe Radhe Shri Radhe, Jai Shad Goswami, Jaya Guru Parampara, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva Nitai, Gaura Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. कलियुग वद्ध पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, टीचिंग्स ऑफ क्वीन कुंती की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अंतकोटि वैष्णव की जय, जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees. We'll meet you all tomorrow morning 4:30 a.m. for the Brahma Murta program, and then we'll meet at 11 o'clock as we continue with chapter number 10 of teachings of Queen Kunti, for the pleasure of Guru Maharaj, for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami Srila Guru Maharaj will be transferred anytime from Penang to Chennai for further treatment. So we can chant extra rounds, we can dedicate all of our devotional service, what we are doing, to pray for the quick recovery, good health and long life of His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Goswami Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, dear devotees. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय